Hello and welcome back to Factorio and the March 2021 community map. So last time I got these yellow utility signs, but I didn't really look at the resources required to make them. As you can see here, low density structures are the big issue. Engines I have actually got in the right ratio, and I think getting enough gears and enough iron, enough batteries, enough steel for engines, that's not too much of an issue. Because if we look at these low density structures, they need one flying utility pack, rather they need one flying robot frame per cycle, which makes 3. And the engines are actually relatively cheap. Processing units would normally be an issue, but this is a really big patch, and if it's not big enough, there's another patch down there. That is probably fine. So before I quickly move on to the next science pack, which would be the purple production science, I do want to try and get this sort of in order. So for these low density structures, I did some math, and like this little bit I built up here, which I haven't left nearly enough room around, has 24 assembly machines. I can't even supply those. I've not got enough plastic right now. So what I've calculated was that with the blue assembly machines all the way through, if I need one low density structure per second, because one goes to one pack, but then I want to do 8 at a time, so let's call that 8 per crafting second. To make 8 per crafting second, when each of these takes 20 seconds to make just the one, I need 160 of these assembly machines. So this, not enough. And to power 160 of these assembly machines, for plastic it's a little bit more tricky because we're going from a 0.75 crafting speed to a, what's this, a 1 crafting speed. And then when I upgrade the assembly machine to tier 3 in the future, if we just search for that, this one here is a 1.25, so it doesn't really line up very nicely. But an approximate number would be I need 240 plastic per second of crafting, and with this making about 2 in a second, that gives me 120, I believe, plastic machines. So that's going to be a lot of those. This will change, like I said, depending on the thing. So I was going to go over 100 for now. It seems a compromise for assembly machine 2, but in the future it will need to be even more than that. Then I need the copper for this. This is going to need quite a bit. If you look at this, there's 20 copper each, so 20 by 8, I need 160 per cycle. 160 per cycle with either the steel furnace or the electric furnace. They both have crafting speed 2. This takes 1.6 seconds, so I came to about 200 in total. I believe each one of these sets here is 48, so that's 96, so maybe 4 of these with the steel or the electric furnace, not the basic one. And so I basically have a quarter of the copper I need, not accounting for anything down here. Although I don't need copper for a circuit, so that's going to be handy. Steel looks easy when you first glance at it because it only needs 2 steel instead of 20 copper, but until you realise that steel takes 10 times longer to make, so I need just as many furnaces for steel, and each steel takes 10 iron, so I need just as many furnaces for iron. So that's another 200 steel furnaces and 200 iron furnaces, of which I have just over a quarter. So that's going to be a big expansion for steel as well. And that's not even calculating how much oil I'm going to need. To drive that much plastic, I'm going to need a lot of coal and a lot of gas, which probably means that this is only about a quarter of the size it needs to be as well. And if I make this 4 times bigger, I'm betting that this won't be enough. And actually that's run out of fuel as well. I should go fix that. So that means expansion before I can really do anything new. I'm going to have to go get that oil, which will be basically the same as that oil, I imagine. I'm going to need a lot more coal. This isn't like enough coal really for doing the power over here. And of course with all this new stuff I'll probably need to expand this power, build that there which isn't built yet, and maybe double it all again down there. So I'm going to need all that coal probably just for power. There's a lot more coal up here though, there's a lot of coal up here, so I need to go and get one or both of those. Actually, some more oil there. I don't think I need the oil just yet. Copper. Well, this isn't really enough copper mines already. It's barely enough for like the small production I've got. Small patch here is a bigger patch here. I'll probably start with the bigger patch, I guess, and then see how that goes. And have to build all the copper furnaces somewhere. And to get that much steel, probably this won't be enough. Looking around, there's iron ore down here, so maybe I'll go and get that. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of expansion work to begin with. So starting off, I'm just going to upgrade these old assembly machines to get them to be a bit faster. And looking over here, I do actually want to make the steam engine. And it would be nice to actually make the chemical plants and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put steel on this belt as well. Kind of loop that around there, quickest way. Now I need to do something with this. So I can underground it through there. That can take from the underground itself, that is fine. So that's going to give me the ability to make the chemical plants. And I probably won't need that many oil refineries. I was going to do oil refineries myself because to make oil refineries I'm also going to need stone bricks, and that's just something extra to worry about. And also, while the opportunity presents itself, I'm going to make steel boxes because I'm going to need a lot of those for the train stations especially. I'm probably going to make the logistics ones manually for the time being. Don't know why I put that there. In fact, this whole thing could just use that by itself and be a little bit more out of the way. So the first of the big upgrades for oil, going from 12 to I think that's 12 to 48. Yep, I did 48. So putting these on the other side, if we just look down here, they are staggered very slightly. This is because if this was lined up, so one tile to the right, this here for the gas and this here for the heavy oil, they would clash. But by doing it one tile offset, they both fit nicely. And the other thing I'm doing to help with all this extra construction is I'm extending the roboport slowly. Got some more to build over there. And this will let the robots over here at the production site, they'll be able to come and build this stuff a lot quicker. And it saves me running back and forward because I actually have limited space. And there's not even always enough there to pick everything up at once. So like I built a lot of this, but I've probably not got enough pipes. This is already telling me about pipes. I need to go get more roboports, more power poles. Whilst I'm short of refineries. Refineries I'm still handcrafting. The trick I can do is if I handcraft them somewhere else, say not here, is I can put them in the trash slots and then bring them over. Second stage to go, that is going to be a lot more cracking because it's the gas that I really want. So what I'm actually going to do is going to take this. Actually, I'm not going to take this. So if we take these three here, and I think offset them again. I want to use the same pipes so it tiles. So there's going to be a pipe here and a pipe here. But the right hand one will again be water. So this is not the same as rotating it. It's not the same as mirroring it. Because this way I can then tile this again over here. And it should fit. And hopefully there's space with the track actually. But if not, at least it was a nice idea I suppose. So these are going to tile along here. And I'm going to do the same number as before. So that will give me a total of 24 of those. Gas is the central pipe, so that's easy. Light oil needs to come across here to there. And water from here to there. So that actually lines up quite nicely. And then, actually see, because I definitely want a lot of this. Let's just see if it does tile as I intend it. So it'll be there. Looks like it does. There's just trees in the way while the trees can go. And I should even be able to put another one up here. Give plenty of production. And going with the roboport. So I'm going to put the roboport in the middle. Think about there is right, and it does reach all the way. Just need to give it a power pole there. And I think doubling that for the heavy oil. The heavy oil I need less of, plus I'm using up lubricant. So I think for heavy oil that'll be fine. And you can see just how much these bots are helping. So it might seem like a small thing, but this is an awful lot of both bringing me resources for these requests, so I don't have to keep coming over here. And all those construction bots, currently over 200 of them, taking stuff from here over to these productions. And that's going to get these construction sites done a lot quicker than if I had just gone back and forth with a personal robot. Looking at the coal, this is going to be slightly tricky. So the basic tiling would come here. The problem is this edge piece, and I could just landfill it, but let's see if I can work out something nice. So to get those tiles, this needs to come over a bit, and the belt will still be there though. Now I just have to make do with the power poles. This can go here, it gets those, it doesn't leave a gap there, so that's nice. And then, but they're going to keep working their way along here, I guess. So I'll just change that so it lines up better, I suppose. So that would be like that. And then, yeah, that one gets the end of that, so that's very nice. And then what I need to work out is, as I come along here, I need to try and fill in this gap. So that one can go there, that can go there. But that works fairly well. The problem's going to be getting power. But I think that one just needs to come there simply so I can put a power pole in the middle. And then the actual coal will come along here. Along here. A bit of a puzzle on this. Trying to find where I can put all the miners so that I can get both the belts and the power to them. Make sure I don't miss any belts out. That would be bad. Then that can come up there. And yeah, that's going to be another tricky piece. This is going to be filtered anyway, so it doesn't matter if I dump more coal on top of it. Those trees are a little bit in my way, I can't see what I'm doing. And then, well, this bit here is easy, I can just do this. And then this can loop around into there. Because I don't want to put it onto there, that one is not filtered, it would contaminate my iron supply. And then to get this, I think there and there gets that last piece of coal, so that's going to come that way. That can merge like so. And alright, so I need to figure out this, don't I? This might need to all change. Let's solve this problem first. That can go there. And that one could move up. And I could just move the whole row along, that would work fine. But I really want to have some here. So if there's one there, that works. And then this has to go round the corner. It won't be a straight row anymore. And I do still want to merge it, I think, like so. Really make sure I don't miss any gaps like that. Can be hard to spot them, like on top of the ore or coal in this case. So that can be two more there, two more there, that gets those. One more there to get that bit. And then a couple along the edge here to get the rest of it. And I think that gets all of it. I could maybe fit a few more in terms of output, but it would only be a few extra. I'd have to... I don't know it's worth it. It's like on the edge here, it's only going to be a few thousand. It'll be a short-term benefit at most. Power should be fairly straightforward. It can come through here. Hopefully there's just enough empty tiles like these to fit them all. That one's going to be easy because that's a straight row. This one was more tricky, so I can go there. Go there, that gets all of them. Okay, that gets all of them. And then if I go on the two outside, I think that gets the rest of those. I actually don't need another radar. I've already got a radar there. It's already explored like its maximum range anyway. So that's going to give me 1, 2, 3, 4 belts. This belt's going to be quite a lot. I don't know, I'm just going to upgrade that one anyway because it's the mixed one. That would be like the highest priority. Have a splitter somewhere. And where does a station actually fit? So it's going to be the same design essentially as this. But I need space for it, and it's not going to be space there. Might have to be all the way down here. Being down here because of that bit that sticks out. Seems like the easiest way though, because I don't have to worry about changing this, I can just leave that alone. The exit will be, in this case here I suppose, because that's the way the station is, not going to rotate it over this, let's just do the simplest thing. And then this will be the inbound. And just have some simple signals on that like that. Train can wait there if I ever have more than one on this route. And that can just have some extra signals in there. And then I'll link it up together. So I didn't actually notice a small mistake as I was building this. There's a tile there. I need to figure out a way of getting that tile. Which looks like the only place I can put a miner right now is there. Okay, that's just on the ground. I don't know why that's there. So those two are fine. So what I can do with that then is just underground it and I guess put a merge on there. And I think that fixes that mistake. A few more miners over there to build and then to finish off the belts here, and got the station nearly built and add a train to it. So expanding oil, so what I'm going to do is copy the station design I had before and then just link up all these pumps to it. So I actually need to make 2 tanks and 2 pumps. Then this is just going to come around here, and I'm just going to leave that a single track. It is simpler, so that can go there. So that just means I need to have a signal both sides. Actually run out of signals. Hopefully I can make some more. So this is going to be the inbound track, that's going to be the outbound track, and so I just need to have a signal here so it doesn't block the main line too much. And it's not going to conflict with the processing units because that train comes in and waits here rather than here. And for power can just come up along here next to that. And I'm going to have a separate train with a separate name on this because I think it's easier. I could do circuit conditions and clever stuff, or I could just have the train wait here until it's full load, and that's nice and simple. So first copper mine, actually looks like I'm not really getting the fast belts worth here, just the basic belts in the end because the mine isn't that massive. But this is a mine nonetheless. One thing is I haven't actually built the furnaces for it yet. Maybe I'll build them there. I'm thinking there's a lot of empty space, and I can probably build the coal somewhere there as well. Because currently the coal unload is there, but it's hard to there's nowhere to put furnaces over there. And I know I'm going to need an awful lot of coal for plastics, and I really want the plastics to be near the refineries because it's easier just to use pipes and it saves train effort. So that gives me the idea of maybe plastic can go here or something, furnaces here, coal can fit in here. Maybe this could become like an unload station instead of a loading station, because I've already got other coal anyway to do this unload. And then this coal would be just for making plastic, at least until I get around to doing that. So that's what I'm currently thinking, but I did do copper since I was over here for the oil anyway. So another iron mine built. This is a very simple one. The main thing here was trying to build all this track down here. Kind of threaded it around the cliffs, so that was nice. And actually on the power, I think I forgot to mention, I didn't put these and things in. I guess I could have destroyed the cliff, but it's only one steam engine, it's not really worth worrying about. A few more there just as I build the resources. And so what I've actually changed here is I'm going to put a train limit of 4 on here. That's 1 here and the 3 stackers. And that should be plenty. But by the time that's an issue, I'll probably need more than 1 unload stop anyway. So this is a reasonable amount more iron. Again, not getting the 4 packed belts, at least with this level of mining efficiency, but probably about doubling what I was getting before. So for the new copper mines, so this is going to be basically for the ore and the coal again. I'm going to use the steel furnaces because I don't really see the point of upgrading to electric furnaces right now. And so a big difference with these from before is I'm just going to use the medium electric poles straight away. And so what that means is that, as you can see, I need to have less poles. I can do groups of 4. So that's going to be 2 inserters in, 2 out. I actually put that in the wrong place, so I'll have to correct that in a second. Then come down there. So it's a group of 4. And then I can repeat this for here. Then that's going to repeat there. So that's going to be 4. That's half of them. Then 2 more. And I could use more basic belts, but I think actually, oops, that's not what I meant. I think at this point I'm going to start using fast belts more exclusively just because it's easier. And I think it's more my time now rather than resources. The extra gears, at least for fast belts, isn't too many extra gears. And I'm slowly extending this robo network over here as well. So that's going to help me with this. And to get to 200 or near enough to 200, I think I need to build 4 of these. So this tiles quite nicely like that. So that's going to be 2, 3 and 4. And then what I'm going to do while the robots build this and stuff. Actually, I don't know why I still have those small poles there. I guess that's from when I copy pasted part of it. Let's see if I can get rid of that. There it is. So that can come over here to provide a bit more robot coverage. So the coal, what I'm going to do for the coal is I'm just going to steal it from this. I'm going to disable the train, I think, actually for this. I'll bring it over here and stop it. And this coal will be exclusively for the moment for copper and plastic. I have the other coal up here. This can provide power to the power plant. And then at some point this can become like a coal unload or something. There's enough space here, like I could put that in and so forth. So just going to stop that there for the moment. So the coal is going to come across here. This space I'm clearing, this is going to be plastic, and then the low density structures have all of this space here because I do need a lot of them. Why did I build 32? I must have built totally the wrong number there. Should be 12 in a row. So, okay, so if I've got this right now, 12 should be there. So upgrade from... yeah, so that one. And this is because, like, I realised, like, yes, I can afford it in terms of gears, but I've actually built enough assembly machines for those. So what happened, like, pretty much instantly was I just ran out of fast belts in storage, and I do kind of want this built quickly, so I'm going to go with the cheaper belts because I can make them a little bit faster and I have some in storage. Then for unloading, so I'm going to unload here, have a balancer. I can choose the same 4-to-4 I've been using everywhere else, so no new designs really for that. That power pole is actually in the way, unfortunately. Let's just put this. No, I think there looks tight. That can like loop around a bit, and the power pole can go back there. So these will come down there, one for each line of smelters. And then this, once it's loaded up, I've already got that copper mine I made earlier where I just happened to be over there, so I can go full cargo, empty cargo. I can go fill up. There's probably already actually enough copper just stored in those boxes, so it should be back shortly to help get this started. And these just connect one to each of the like wagons. I don't know why I created an extra signal. Yeah, I was going to do that so that by the time it gets back they're all ready to unload evenly. I think this is because some of the robots from the main base decided to do those jobs, but they're all over there. It's going to take a while to actually get here. So as it's going to snake around there, I think that fits well enough. And actually I do need to finish this track. So the main cautious thing to be here is that if I have a situation where a train is waiting at this signal to, of course robots from the main base can do, that's fine. Main caution here is if there's a train waiting here to get in, and there's a train here waiting to get out to this way, this could block. Now I could just make it 3 tracks here, have a spare like track. But what I've kind of done to fix this, and what I should probably make sure I did elsewhere, is because this is a chain signal here, if this signal is red, the train will wait here instead and it won't block the exit. And in fact, actually it's still wrong because it could block the train going this way. That chain signal needs to be back here. And this makes a particularly large signal block, so that's why you might have the 3rd track to make that not happen. Or just design your loop very slightly differently. I just did what was convenient. And since all this copper is exclusively for making those... oops, made that the wrong way around. Since all this copper is exclusively for making those low density circuits, what am I talking about? Low density structures, I'm not actually going to have like a train for unloading the copper. Once it's made, this copper belt is just going to go straight into that production there. Likewise, the plastic is just going to come straight up here and into there too. And in total, this, once it's built, will be 192 furnaces, which I think is close enough. Then for plastic, what I'm going to do is take the design I had before at the original place, and I'm going to make it so I can... actually, I didn't quite tie that properly. So again, instead of having just 6, I'm going to double that to 12, and I'm going to have it on both sides of the belt. So I'm going from this to this. And that should give me more than one complete belt of plastic. And I probably should have actually done the math on that. I'm going to do 4 of these. And I think 4 is probably a good place to be. In fact, look at this. This is very nearly packed. And this is with 6. So let's assume I can get 9 at most. So that means not doing 12, just doing 9. So I'm just going to take this end one off. And I've got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think I wanted 100. So let's do, I don't know, 6 of these. So that's going to be 2 more over there. And I think that'll give me 6 belts that are pretty packed to go with the 4 belts of copper. And hopefully I can negotiate this. I think I've left enough space here, maybe. I think that's as far as that goes. So it's going to come 1 there, 2, 3. That's not going to be 6, is it? No. In fact, that doesn't even reach there. So that's 4. I guess I can do 2 up here or something. The point is I can't do them there because of the signals. I think that's as close as I can get. But okay, that makes 6 in total. Not the tidiest, like nice and next to each other and stuff, but this should work. So I'm not really sure how much coal I'm going to need. So I'm going to have space for 4 belts along here. And just peel 1 belt off at a time, like so. So then this will be 1 belt initially and 2 belts initially. Now I probably should have built all of those actually 1 further up. I said 4, didn't I? And I only left space for 3 because that's kind of something else. So let's just move these while I have the chance. But I'm just going to have the 2 light to start with. I'm going to see how that looks. So that's going to come along there. And then once this is upgraded to an unload station and so forth, and this will be for basically just feeding it. So I guess what I need to do is just get rid of all that for the moment. And I guess I can put this in here. And if I upgrade the station, I'll probably unload it at the top and do some sort of merge thing here. I'm not really sure yet. It is possible to just merge like 2 sets of 4. Something I could do. Well, now I think I want like that. And then that's going to be 1 up there. That went in the wrong direction. 1 there. 1 for the future, not decided, and 2 for the plastic. So looking at this, I know I need 160 in total for my earlier maps. And even when the plastic was flowing at like full speed, it backed up a little bit because of copper and stuff. I was doing things. This wasn't really getting the full speed, so I think I'm going to do is 16 lines of 10. So basically this many by 16. Which would be, I guess, 8 sets of belts like this. I have to work it out exactly, but for now I'm just going to take this as my initial design. And I'm going to start, let's leave a bit of space, there's cliffs and stuff there. Let's go with here, that lets me deal with whatever I need to deal with down there. Actually, I probably should come over to that, just be a second. Okay, so to do 10 instead of 12, I was cutting off the end one. See the end one here, so what I'm going to do is put the power poles here so that they're still all powered. And then make sure they do have inserters, because I need to cut those off. And why aren't these being built? I think they're not being built because there's robots on their way to do it. And what I ran out of, still need more fast belts, so it's definitely still I'm not going to use fast belts like everywhere unless I have to, because I do seem to be rather short on those. But I do need to use it, I think for the first 5, if I did the maths remotely right, so let's go up to there. And I think I need it for the plastic as well as for the copper. The one I will you don't need it for is the steel, but the steel's on the same belt as the copper anyway. So if this is then 20 total, I need 8 of these I believe, so that's going to be... Actually, let's make the... I think I want this to come downwards because that's like where it's actually going to go. So let's just do that quickly and then trim that, just to make it a bit tidier. So I think I need 8 of these, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was running in trees, let's get those, and 8. So yeah, it is a lot of sewing machines. It should be 160 total. Yep, I got that right. So then the question is going to be how to get all this stuff in. So I guess copper is the one on top right now. So if we say copper's coming this way, so copper could come in there and split, and then steel, and it's going to do an underground belt to somewhere, I guess. Then steel wants to come in here, Yeah, I think steel, because it's like... Actually, that's not going to work. It's going to hit the plastic, isn't it? So let's say steel comes here. Leave a bit of space. Let's get the car out the way. So steel's going to come in there. In fact, how much steel did I actually need? I forget. Let's just check my notes. Okay, all the steel I believe will fit onto one belt because it was just... It's 10 times less steel than iron because of that 10-to-1 ratio, so it's the iron that needs lots. And that's still going to be over here. I'm just going to extend this. Especially once this is gone, I can extend the steel and make a really big steel plant here. So let's say steel comes in here, it means that the rest of my copper, like, it gives me space for that. And it gives me space for... Actually, does that not reach? Okay, well that can do like an underground belt there anyway. And then the plastic can come in and go under that. That'll be fine. In fact, maybe this will be neater. Make the steel come in. Steel can come in over there. Plastic can come in. Well, plastic will come in that way then. Actually, that's wrong anyway then. That can go there like that. And then, yeah, steel's going from the right anyway because that's where the things are. Plastic can just come underneath and I'll have more splitters here. And copper is going to come along here for the time being. And actually, I didn't need to be an underground at all then because the plastic went under it and the steel was on the other side. So that gives me that space for 4. Then that can go under that as well. So steel would go... Well, I guess actually the best way of doing that would be that. Steel comes along there. That goes along there. That comes under there. And I should be able to repeat this. If I get it right, I should be able to repeat this for each one. Try and copy paste the right thing. Should be able to repeat this for each one. And actually the steel should be there, not there. So let's try that again. Once I get this right, it'll be a lot easier. There we go, copy paste now to tile along here. Trees can get out the way, and if I'm really lucky, I'll miss these cliffs. If not, I just want to move this all. I'm just going to move this all. It's like the last opportunity to move it before it's a massive pain. Let's just move it before it's all built, and then that comes along there. And the steel can come in this way. Low density structures will come out this way. In fact, low density structures, I'm never going to get more than one belt of them anyway. Well, that's just not going to happen. Let's change that to be like that. So I don't need all these underground belts and it gets them out of the way. So let's just delete that. So I'm kind of waiting on the bots to build stuff anyway. I could have done this a bit more efficiently, I suppose, but this doesn't help that the bots are running out of power. Let's actually... the problem is I've built like... They're trying to fly across here. I should put roboports in along here to help them out. That would be a very good idea. So probably one more there. The power poles are a little bit too close for roboports, but at this point having a couple of extra roboports isn't like the end of the world. So back to this. So if that's coming there for the low density structures, I really wish that was not there, but I'll just do that bit last then. Then this is going to come along here in the opposite direction to steel. And it can just go under the plastic, I guess, there's no harm in that. So that gives me this to repeat, and this should repeat fine with what I've already placed down. So that's going to come along there. And then that's the final resource. And what did I just do? Okay, yeah, that goes there. And then there's nothing over there anyway, that is fine. Give them a second to start building that. Copper, could they get any closer? I can go... Well, actually, I can go there. Then that's going to let me come up here. So that's my 4 coppers. Definitely not enough fast belts, so I'm going to have to wait for more of these to be made. They should be making them fairly quickly. It's like one every second or so, I guess. I could put another thing there, I suppose. And I could even upgrade that to a fast. Because at the moment I actually like wasting resources right now because I'm so limited on these low density structures. And there wasn't really any other sciences to get on with, so a lot of the sciences backed up because they're waiting on these yellow utility ones. So I didn't do that very ideally. I mean, it works, but it's not going to be the fastest time ever for sure. And then our copper comes here. And I'll see in a moment, once I get this a bit more built, how I'm going to distribute that. Plastic, how many of these I've actually got? This half one is going to be awkward, I guess. What I could do for the half one, I suppose. Well, how many have I got? Let's just count them. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's more than 6, whatever. So I'm going to need to do like a balancing thing as well on the plastic because it's going to come in on 6 belts, but I need to split it out to more things. So I guess that's going to start here. That's probably the best place to start because it kind of lines up. And then, how am I going to do this? I kind of want it to be like 3. Kind of want to end up here. What I could do is make that first one split off to the left. Then, corner's going to be there. And then it's what, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 6 there. Like that. And that gives me some space there actually to work with in case I need to put a radar or whatever. Doing some of the final touches for that. So I'm going to take the steel from here. That's going to be got rid of. That goes to the old one. Now I didn't really leave as much space here as I would have liked, or I guess I could have gone there. But what I've done is I've got the steel coming up here and low density structures will come down here, leaving the other ones alone. And then I've had to kind of weave around where the stone is. I probably need to extend the stone a bit for doing that production science. I think the purple production science will need a lot of stone, specifically for the electric furnaces, which are these ones, because I need 10 stone bricks each. And each stone brick is, I believe, quite a bit of stone. 2 stones, so that's going to be 20 stone bricks. Well, 20 stone per furnace is quite a bit. So it weaves around here. And then it's a nice straight one along here, across the tracks and up to where I was building these. And still a lot of construction work going on up here to do. Gonna give it some power somewhere. I think I can fit it there. That looks good. And then that can just come down there. There's quite a bit of space. Got some of the plastic going. I think I made a mistake here somewhere because I've only got half of it. Ah yes, I missed out half the inserters. That was not too clever. So just quickly put all those inserters in and then the plastic will be done. So steel is starting to flow in and I've got the copper and the plastic, and I just need to try and work out what I'm going to do with these. So I think the best thing to start with is we're just going to prioritize on the left because that's where they're going. Oops, can't reach. So we're going to prioritize filling each like strip in turn. And because I think what I can do then is if I just do this like for the next belt and the next belt and so forth, then I think what I can do is gradually move items like over to the left, so to speak. Make sure I've got power. So if we say that this belt can do probably the first 2, if I then take this and then do the same here, then I can gradually like move items, move these belts over to the left. So let's say I've hopefully got that maybe right. And I can adjust this later, it's just adding more like inserts and stuff. In fact, I think I am going to have to adjust this slightly because I'm guessing the last one of those is going to be maybe here. Like that. And so probably I need 2 of them here, I'm not really sure. Having extra belts, it has like a little bit of performance impacts and I guess it wastes like a small amount of resource. But it's not completely the end of the world, except when you run out of stuff you're carrying. That is incredibly bad. So I can adjust it and see how I go on that. And I'm going to do a similar thing for the plastic. So the next plastic one is hair. So if I take this there, that's going to be the next plastic one. And I go and do that with it. And basically just do that for all the plastic as well, and then see what it ends up looking like. So I've now started, and you can see, so I was doing before this extra construction work about 22, 25. So that's burst up a lot, and it's gone back down because I ran out of plastic. See, there's no plastic. And this is because there's no gas there. There is oil here, but these tanks are about empty. I don't think it's a pipe limitation because it looks like all the refineries are running. So all the refineries are doing their thing. Neither of these are completely bottlenecked. That's hovering around 5, which means it's basically this pump here turning on and off. You can see it flicking onto disabled. So there's plenty of those, plenty of those. Just needs even more refineries, I think. And there's some cliffs and stuff there. I can probably build more here, or I could even get rid of that cliff because it's just a stupid little like boulder really. It's not like a proper cliff. But definitely need a lot of refineries. I didn't actually work out the number on this. It's kind of hard to calculate because of the ratio between like from here to here to here, which means normally I just keep building more until like the stockpile is going up. And right now it seems like more is definitely required. But otherwise this is now functioning, and I am getting a lot more than I was earlier. As I said, even with like this like slowdown, it's still getting me like 25 to over 4 times as many, so that is nice. And the steel, I don't think I've got enough steel production. I'm not sure I've got enough iron either really, but this was so backed up while I was doing all that, it's going to take a little bit of time to like filter through. So I think now the old low density structures, that can all go, and hopefully I'm in a position really to start thinking about purple science at least, but it's taken me a long time to get this far, so that's going to be something for next time. So if you want to see that, be sure to like, subscribe and enable your notifications. See you next time.